Arsenal's last two transfer windows have been about as effective as a three-legged chair. Arsenal make Derrick Trotter look like bloody Donald Trump when it comes to business dealings. Signing Marino and Sterling is making the exploding Dolls Del Boy boot look like a good investment. But you can't win trophies with a squad so small. Our squad is tiny. I mean, my Sunday League team has a bigger squad than Arsenal at the moment, and that's with half the players missing because they're hungover from last night. Arsenal gave up this season at the start of the summer transfer window when we thought it was a good idea to get rid of more players than bringing in players. You know, to win, to compete on all fronts, you need a big squad. Like, you can't do it with 20, 21 players and half of them are injured, you know what I mean? You need a big squad to compete on all fronts. If we had a big squad, we wouldn't be going out in the FA Cup third round. Our players wouldn't be dropping like flies at the moment. Martinelli now injured, you know what I mean? Xhaka's injured. This is the problem. To compete on all fronts, to win trophies. I'm not assuming we're going to win every single trophy, but if you've got a big enough squad to compete, to get past the FA Cup third round at least, you know, that's what it takes. You need a big squad. We lost this season when, no disrespect to Galatasaray, big club in Turkey, big European club, but they know Arsenal, while we're signing Raheem Sterling on loan, at the same time, on the same day, Galatasaray signing Victor Osimhen on loan. I'd rather Victor Osimhen because we need a striker than Raheem Sterling. Look, at the end of the day, the business should have been done in the summer transfer window. We shouldn't have to be trying to, find these players in January. January transfer window isn't really a market for your world-class players. Why would the club sell their best player? Why would they sell their best player halfway through a season when they're competing for their own titles or they're at the Champions League or domestic clubs? Why would a club sell a 30-goal a season man halfway through a season? They wouldn't, They wouldn't do it. That's why you've got to get the business done in the summer, spend your 200 million, and then the January transfer market is for that quick fix, right? So we've got Bukayo injured, we've got Martinelli injured, we've got these players injured, we need a few players now, quick signings, just to get us through to the end of the season. So if we would have signed maybe Gyökeres in the summer or Benjamin Sesko in the summer or some sort of 80, 90 million, if we spent 200 and 300 million in the summer on 3-4 good players, I probably would have taken Rashford on loan in the January market. But because we haven't signed no one in the summer, now, I don't want Rashford. I don't even want Ollie Watkins at the end of the day. And I get why, that was a hard deal to get done. I really do, because me personally, I don't really want Ollie Watkins. He's 29 years old. I don't want to be spending 40, 50 million on Ollie Watkins. And people say, well, it's not your money. Why do you care? Listen, I care because, to a degree, it is our money because we're putting the money in the club. But I don't want to spend 40, 50 million on someone. Then, someone better comes along in the summer and it's like, well, we signed Ollie Watkins now. What can we do? We can't buy him now. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I get why we didn't sign maybe someone like Ollie Watkins in the summer. He's 29 years old. He's not having the greatest season this season, to be fair. So it's a high risk. And then if it means the fact that we can get someone better in the summer, we just got to wait. Then we have to wait, and that's how it goes. Again, yeah, it's not my money, but it pisses me off when now, we signed this player for this amount of money. Now we can't sign someone better in the summer for a bit more, 20 million more, who's maybe a lot younger, scored a lot more goals. You get a lot more bang for your buck as such. Do you know what I mean? Look, I get Arteta hasn't got the best track record when it comes to transfers. Like I said, he makes Derrick Trotter look like Donald bloody Trump. I get that. I'd rather trust Derrick Trotter with 800 million than I do with Arteta at the end of the day. But people are saying, that's why the Kroenkes didn't spend in January. That's why I ain't giving him any more money because he's had this much amount of money in it. Listen, it's bigger than that. I don't care. Whoever's in charge, if we need players, right? I don't care if it's Arteta in charge or Derrick bloody Trotter in charge, right?
Remember this. Tell them all. He who dares wins.
You give him the money because it's bigger than Kroenkes and it's bigger than Arteta. Listen, you need to give that man the money. He's the manager when we needed to bring in players. I don't want that money kept in the Kroenkes' pockets. I don't want it in there. I want it spent on some players at least, like whether it would have been in the summer or whether it would have been in January. That money should not be in the Cronkies' pockets. That's coming out of our pockets straight into the Cronkies. Like, and again, yeah, Arteta hasn't got the best track record with money. He's probably one of the worst I've seen at Arsenal. You know. But he's the manager. We need players. Give him the bloody money, and and let him just go and do what he's got to do at the end of the day. Because I'd rather have a few decent players in that team rather than we're having to rely on Paul Ranieri. What a player that geezer is! But are we going to burn him out? Lewis Skelly, are we going to burn him out? We're relying on these youngsters now. I mean, the state of that bench, it's terrible. Like, against Newcastle, who did we bring on? We looked at that bench and there's just no one on that bench. So Kroenke should be giving him that money, whether he's shit with it, whether he makes Del Boy look like a dragon on Dragon's Den. It doesn't matter. Like, I know he's terrible when it comes to transfers, but it's bigger than the Cronkies, and it's bigger than Arteta at the end of the day. We need to fill that bench up with some sort of decent players, decent players, Premier League quality players, European quality players, because we've got Champions League coming up. We could be facing, we've got a hard run in that Champions League, and our bench is so thin, and we didn't sign no one. It's like they've given up on this season at the end of the day. And like I did say, I get the January transfer windows hard, but we didn't fail in January. We failed in the summer when we didn't spend how we should have spent. You brought in Marino, mate. He's terrible. Sterling, terrible. And now, if you would have signed someone good, someone half decent in the summer, like I said, you could have signed your Rashfords, or even if we had to sign Sterling, maybe get him on loan in January then, just to fill the bench up. We just need to fill that bench up at the end of the day. Our players are dropping like bloody flies. The fadings off the pitch are now seeping onto the pitch. I mean, the other day against Newcastle, us fans are looking at the bench thinking this game's done. We got no one to bring on to change this game. So if we're thinking that, football, the team are probably thinking that on the pitch. That you've got Gabriel, Declan Rice looking at the bench thinking this game's done. We've got no one to bring on to change this game. That's their bread and butter. Football players, they know the score at the end of the day. So we failed in summer. That's the big fading, and then obviously not signing no one in January is another fading. So I feel like we're just living off a prayer. See out this season, see how it goes. If we win a trophy, if we don't win a trophy, as long as we get top four, we're going to be in the money. And that's all they're thinking at the moment. The higher ups at Arsenal, the directors, the board, the owners, whoever, that's all they're thinking about, the money. At the end of the day, whether you're Arteta in or Arteta out, if he don't win a trophy at the end of the season, something's got to be looked at here at the end of the day, especially when Slots come in his first season and he's still in every single competition. He's still in every single competition, so it sort of blows out the whole process and project out the window, sort of thing. So maybe look at Arteta at the end of the season if we haven't won a trophy. Don't forget to hit up the like button, hitting up Arsenal fans' last nerves, and subscribe to Arsenal Almanac. Cheers for watching.